Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do a demo on the how to tie the Schroeders parachute hopper. So I'm going to be using a tan thread, and I'll just get this behind the eye, secure that in place, cut the tag, and then we will set our thread about the 3/4 mark, 3/4 of the shank length, or 1/4 behind the eye. Next, we will tie in the parachute post, and I'm using a white calf tail, and this does not have to be as long as the shank of the hook. It just needs to be visible enough so that you can see it on the water and hold the parachute hackle in place. So I'm going to secure that using the pinch method. Couple of wraps, secure. Trim the back end off at an angle. Lift the post up, put a thread dam or wedge at the base to help this stand up, and then wrap multiple times around the base of the post. This will give the hackle a place to wrap around, a good anchoring point and a stiff anchoring point, and I'll go up just a bit and then come back down and then bury the rest of the ends in place. So now I'm going to get ready to put the hackle in. I'm going to use a Grizzly hackle, and just a note, this hook is a 2XL length nymph hook. It's a Daiichi 1710, about a size, and in a size 8. So the hackle I'm using will cover about a size 8 or size 10, and I like to tie this on the far side after I clean all the webbing longer fibers, and I'll place this on the far side of the hook, and we'll explain later why I'm doing it there. And then I'll lift so that when I pull, all the fibers will stick straight out. But we're not at that point yet to do the hackling. So now I'll trim the stem off. Next, I took a piece of brown floss, and I'm going to tie this in for the ribbing material, to use as the ribbing material for the body of the fly. So I'll just tie that and work my way to the bend of the hook and just leave that ready to go. Now I'm going to take some dubbing. You want to match the color of the insect. You could either, yellow is always a popular one. Light olive is also another. And just try to build a tapered body. Oops, hit the hook point. We try to keep it thin. I'm just going a little thicker just to build the bulk. dubbings that you can use, such as this is an Antron fine, super fine olive, light olive dubbing. You can use a K-Pock. Also, various hook sizes. Earlier in the season, smaller hooks. Later in the season, larger hooks, because as the grasshoppers do increase, grow. And I'll stop behind the wing. Now I'll take the ribbing material and I'll counter, go in the opposite direction, even spacing as I go up the body, and countering direction, going the opposite direction, helps the ribbing stay on the top instead of getting buried down into the dubbing. Next, I'll take a treated turkey tail feather that I sprayed with a Krylon, and I'll take a section of it that's as wide as the gap is wide. I'll make a rounded end point for the tail. This is the over wing, and I'll cut it so that will just hang over half a gap. I'll cup it over, and I'll secure this right on the top of the dubbing fur. So it's cupped. I'll show you underneath how that cup looks. Next, I'll take knotted pheasant tail fibers. I have another video that you can watch on how to make them. I'll knot them, or you can buy them, and I will tie these on either side of the body. So I'm going to pick the far side first, since that's always the most difficult. Now I'll take the near side. Now I'll take some head cement just to make sure that it doesn't get pulled out. Now I'll build the head. And this is, once again, dubbing fur. Just continue using the material that you're using before. Grasshoppers' heads are a lot bigger proportionally on a fly. This is like a pretty good alternative for those that do not like to spin deer hair. And I am dubbing it to the eye and going back to the wing to build that up. Just trying to build the head up, make it a square or a round block. Okay, and then I'll put the thread around the post and hang it over. Now comes the tying of the parachute. Get my hackle pliers, hold it in place, pull down, first wrap on top, hold the wing post, loosen up, then pull tight again. And each wrap is going under the previous wrap. Then I'll take the thread, run the thread underneath all the hackle wraps, hang it over. Take my scissor, trim the hackle off, and then I'll have to get ready for the whip finish. So take my whip finish tool, and I also run that underneath the hackle wraps and pull. You can do it once or twice. And then trim. And for durability, I would take my bodkin and just let a little bit of head cement just run right down. The capillary effect will pull all that liquid down. So this is Schroeders hopper. It's a nice little imitation of a grasshopper. Works great on bass, trout, panfish, all sorts. It's easy to tie and no deer hair to spin.